What's going on, guys? It's Kaufman is Alive. Welcome to the comic book show. Today I'm looking at all the new comics I picked up at the comic book shop this week. Got some Marvel, got some DC, got some Image. A couple weeks since I've done a video like this. Skipped a couple weeks, had a free comic book day in the middle. So I did do a free comic book day video. Go check that out. It's kind of supplementing my weekly comic book show. But this is always my favorite thing to do every week, flipping through all the new comics I picked up. Have not read any of these yet, but I know what I like, and so I'm gonna show you guys what I like and kind of talk about just comics in general and why I picked some of these comics up and what's going on. Big thing right now going on at Marvel is the Ultimate Endgame. Really the only major thing I can think of that's really happening right now. Not a lot of steam behind it right now, but the big thing that's been happening, at least in issue 3, was the death of Peter Parker and Spider-Man. We kind of see it happening here on the cover. So I'm interested to see what's going to happen in this issue here. Again, there might be some slight spoilers as I flip through these pages, but I'm just kind of seeing what these comics are all about with you here too. So giant cast of characters here for Endgame, much like the movie. Obviously, it's pretty funny how now we've got the movies influencing the comics when it used to be the other way around. So everything's come full circle. Two different artists here, the same artists on the previous issues. We got Terry and Rachel Dodson doing the Outside the Dome pages, and Jonas Scharf doing the pages that are all taking place inside the Maker's Dome, where he makes his home, where he makes his giant city as the Ultimates are trying to infiltrate it here. So it does look like Spider-Man's kind of nowhere to be found here. These are the Jonas Scharf pages. The Makers become the entire city, which I am not a huge fan of this turning point in the storyline, because it feels like something that's been done before and recently, even by Marvel. There's a Jay and Silent Bob, Jays of Future Past comic coming out here. Marco Cicchetto on the cover. They're not even supposed to be in this universe. This is something I might have picked up maybe 20 years ago, but I mean, these days, I don't know, Jay and Silent Bob doesn't really do it for me anymore, but you got Kevin Smith writing here, so we'll see how that goes. Here's some of the Terry Dodson pages. Got some Ultimates battling outside the dome. So I do appreciate the attempt to differentiate the styles and the artwork in between the two different scenes going on in this book. And again, they're just fighting like this giant head of the Maker. Really feels like the Maker could come up with something better than that, maybe. I mean, he did turn into Carnage earlier in the book we saw here. He did this at the end of issue 3, but let me know if you've been reading the Ultimates at all. We got Captain Britain versus Captain America here. In these pages, he breaks the shield with his sword. I don't know if you remember way back at the beginning of the Ultimates. I think it was like issue 2 of the Ultimates. Captain Britain just got completely smashed. He got completely stepped on. I think it was by the Wasp. Maybe it was Hank Pym, but I thought he was killed, but he's pretty much taken a beating throughout this entire Ultimate Universe and just keeps coming back, and looks like he might have even taken out Captain America here. So, and it looks like here at the end, that's a pretty cool page by Terry Dodson there. The Maker breaking out of the city, we see. So, one more issue to go on Ultimate Endgame there for Marvel. Next thing I got was Absolute Batman, issue number 20. Scott Snyder's the writer. Nick Dragotta is on artwork. This was $4.99. And if you saw my review of issue number 19, at the end of that, I said, I bet this new group of Robins. I bet they've got like a giant mech suit, like Power Rangers. And I swear I had not seen the solicits or anything, and that's exactly what they're doing. So I don't know, maybe it was just obvious. So, but I like it. I think it's pretty cool. Here we've got, this looks like the Batcave. This is actually the Joker's cave, though. Everything's been switched around here in this absolute universe. If you've read some stuff that Scott Snyder's talked about, I covered it previously in my review of the Comics the Magazine, where they did an interview with Scott Snyder, and I got the newest issue here this week, which I'll be looking at here later. Scott Snyder was talking about how in this universe, the Joker's all about order, and Batman's all about chaos. So it makes sense that this would be the case here, that we've actually got the Joker in the Batcave, and looks like he's hooked up to a computer here. Lots of dead baby fetuses that he's feeding on. I guess he's almost like Epstein or something, feeding on dead babies or something. So kind of timely storytelling, I suppose, here. Trying to keep it relevant. I think we can all relate to some of the things going on in this insane book, because some of it does kind of make you feel like this is actually in our reality. So we got Edward Nygma here. This is the first time we've really seen him in his like final form, I guess. This might be the new Riddler. And unless this is a flashback, looks like Waylon has been able to get out of his crocodile form. I'm guessing this has to be a flashback. This is definitely a flashback. Now I'm confused. I'm gonna have to read this one for sure. Got Nick Dragata doing the artwork on this issue here, and Scott Snyder doing the writing. Frank Martin probably doing the colors. Let me check it out here. Yep, colors Frank Martin. Tom Napolitano doing the letters there. So here's what's advertised finally at the end of the book. Looks like we get a confrontation between Batman and the Robins to be continued here. So they're really just teasing it again here for a whole nother issue. Looks like there's a preview for Absolute Green Arrow #1. I thought Green Arrow was dead, though. Oh, yeah. I guess he is. Zombie Green Arrow. Something like that. So there's Absolute Batman #20. Then I got Absolute Martian Manhunter issue #11. This is by Dennis Camp and Javier Rodriguez. This was $4.99 off the rack. This book is completely insane. I think there's only one more issue after this. Man, look at that. Totally schizophrenic. I mean, I'm sure Dennis Camp, the writer, wants me to be reading all the words in this book, but a lot of times I just can't. It's almost even hard to concentrate sometimes. There's just like I said, so many schizophrenic dialogues going on. It is just cool to kind of look at the artwork in this series, I feel like. Javier Rodriguez doing all of the artwork here. Pencils and layouts and colors, everything. But John Jones, our main character, his wife and children, or child, has been taken captive, mind-controlled by the White Martian. And it looks like in this issue, John Jones is trying to ward off mind control himself. And he's still got the Green Martian trying to, I guess, help him somehow hold it all together. But yeah, this book just keeps getting more insane here. And it says to be concluded. So yeah, we got one more issue to go here on Absolute Martian Manhunter. And I've collected every issue of it, so I'm looking forward to this ending. This does feel like a book where it doesn't need to really go much longer. This feels kind of like in the vein of those classic DC books that are completely different from other DC books like Watchmen or The Dark Knight Returns, something like that. That's what this Absolute Martian Manhunter feels like. This, I mean, it does tie in loosely to the other Absolute books, but you definitely don't need to read any of the other Absolute books to enjoy this. The Absolute title on it, I don't even think really needs to be there. I got Spawn number 375. This has got a large creative team on it, and this was $3.99. Crazy Spawn still going with the same numbering, which I absolutely love. Got Todd McFarlane doing the script and plot, Brett Booth, Steven Segovia on artwork here. So Brett Booth doing pages 1 through 20, and he's been the main artist on Spawn for a couple of years now, and the reason I'm picking it up. And we got Steven Segovia doing pages 21 to 25 at the end. Adelso Corona, Daniel Henriquez doing inks, Robert Nugent doing these really beautiful colors here. That's a great opening page. Malbolgia Dinosaur here. I know Brett Booth loves drawing dinosaurs. I don't know if he's even on social media. I used to follow him back on Twitter back in the day, and he'd always be posting animal drawings and dinosaur drawings and stuff like that. And he always works it into his Spawn stuff. Like when he was doing Gunslinger Spawn, there was always wolves and dinosaurs and lizards all over that book. So he loves drawing that stuff. Malbolgia is back battling Spawn here, and he's turned into this giant, I guess a dragon would be more appropriate than dinosaur, fire-breathing dragon here from hell, a hell dragon. Great colors, awesome page here. Love Brett Booth's style. Probably the most similar artist to somebody like Jim Lee. And his really fine, delicate, super detailed inking and pencils here. And Adelso Corona always doing really awesome inks over Brett Booth's stuff as well. So this is a pretty big issue, $3.75, not quite double size, but like I mentioned at the beginning, 25 pages here. And it's all action between Spawn and Malbolgia. And it says here we got a new creative team on the next issue. Matt Rosenberg taking over writing and Steven Segovia taking over the artwork as we see him doing the next few pages here. And they take us in an all new direction. So, man, this is the final Brett Booth issue, 375, hanging on a bang, no pun intended. I am really sad to see Brett Booth leaving Spawn. Really wonder what he's going to be up to next. Is he doing another Spawn book or something? If anybody knows, please let me know in the comments here. But it looks like we get a little preview of the new direction here from Steven Segovia and Matthew Rosenberg. I do like Steven Segovia's artwork. If I remember correctly, he's been the artist on The Scorched for a long time. This looks like he's taking his artwork in a not totally, but a different direction, a more cartooning direction for sure. You can see he's always had heavy anime influence, but it's coming on strong here for sure. So we got a little kid saying, "I saw it all, saw how the world ends" there. So that's the end of Spawn 375, $3.99. Here's the cover to the next issue. Spawn covers are pretty boring. I think it was The Comic Patrol, another YouTuber, check him out, who commented recently on a Spawn video of mine that, yeah, Spawn covers, as good as the artwork usually is, they never tell you anything, and that's just boring. Then I got Dork, issue number 4. Got the Scotty Young variant cover here. This was $3.99 off the rack. Can't beat that. Somehow found the Scotty Young cover. I guess no one else wanted it. I found it on the shelf. pretty close to what Brent Bean's doing inside the book, so the cover's not too far of a departure. I actually didn't, or I wouldn't have even known this was a Scotty Young piece. Normally you could pick out his artwork, but this almost looks like Brent Bean. So Jean-Francois Ballou and Nate Picos are doing the colors and the letters in here. And I've done reviews of issues 1 through 3 of Dork so far, and I've liked what I've seen, even though, like I've mentioned, this type of artwork is not something I normally would be picking up. It's a little too cartoonish for me, but the action scenes are great, and I like the story so far, and I like the characters. And like I said, pretty much every issue has been like this, where it starts a little slow. I mean, there's a little bit of action, but we get some really crazy looking action in the middle in all these books. And each story is pretty much self-contained. Here you go again. Frackaboom. This is reminding me of some Tyler Kirkham Final Boss. And I've mentioned the fight scenes remind me of Daniel Warren Johnson on like Absolute Batman. So this is a cool book. It looks kid friendly, but when you really get into it, it's pretty violent and pretty bloody. And it's a pretty funny book. That's a cool cover to issue number 5. Love that. Here's the main cover. But happy I found the Scotty Young cover. Really happy I found that. Then I got Comics the Magazine, number 3. This was $2.99. And if you guys haven't been picking up Comics the Magazine, I recommend it. It's very much an extension of like the Comics Journal or Wizard Magazine or Hero Magazine. Cartoonist Kayfabe as well. Jim Rugg did an article previously just talking about the history of comic book magazines and how it's extended into now social media and YouTube, like what I'm doing here, what Cartoonist Kayfabe did, what so many other people do now, just looking at comic books, talking about comics online, showing you the pages and stuff like this. So love this whole concept of Comics the Magazine. We get the reprint here of an original Eastman and Laird Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. There's a interview as well with Kevin Eastman in here, which is cool. They have some great interviews in these books, lots of great features, a dollar bin feature here. So yeah, check this out. Definitely. It's for only $2.99. Definitely worth it. Just like Wizard Magazine, it's got, shows you some how to draw features. It's showing you some upcoming indie books from the main publishers, top 10 artists, top 10 interior artists, top 10 writers here, top 10 titles, top 10 publishers. So we got top 10 publishers. Top 3 are, of course, number 1's DC right now. Can't disagree with that. Marvel is number 2. Image is number 3. Top 10 titles. Amazing Spider-Man is number 1. That's debatable, but I think the Torment storyline's been received fairly well. Absolute Batman is number 2. And then number 3, they got the DC Marvel Superman Spider-Man, which came out last month in number 3. Top 10 cover artists. We got Nick Dragata, number 1, Dan Mora, number 2, and Jorge Jimenez, number 3. Top 10 interior artists. Eric Canetti, they got number 1. He was doing some awesome work. Did some issues of Absolute Batman. Ed McGuinness, number 2. Jorge Jimenez, number 3 there. Top 10 writers. We got Scott Snyder, number 1. Robert Kirkman, number 2. Joe Kelly, number 3. Hard to argue with that. Dennis Camp, number 4. Definitely can't argue with any of those. Definitely check out Comics the Magazine. And I love the Kevin Eastman Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cover here. Cool stuff. And if you've been following me the last few weeks, if you saw my Savage Dragon video a couple weeks ago, I guess by now, my cover got damaged. I got rained on and it was all wet. So I was able to order another one through my comic shop. They ordered me one. So I got a brand new clean copy here of Dragon, $2.79. This was $3.99. So now I guess I got a reader copy and I can bag and board this one and never open it again and just keep it in my collection. But I did a whole review of this issue, so check out that video if you want to get my thoughts on it. This was the final issue with the Dragon Kids getting each their own adventure, and this is Maddie's adventure here. So that's all I got this week. Thanks again for joining me. Check out my Patreon at patreon.com/KaufmanIsAliveComics. Got a few exclusive videos up there and some unedited videos as well. Check it all out. Please subscribe if you haven't yet. And thanks again for watching. Stay cool, stay happy, and stay in touch.